Hey, welcome back to Going Ballistic with Jim Bob. Jim Bob here in his undisclosed ballistic garage in communist Illinois. So what we're going to do today here in my very confined workspace, I have more, but I got cameras and all that tripod thing set up there, is I got a lifelong buddy of mine, repair shop guy, and he's got a brand new Glock, well, almost brand new, Gen 5 Glock 19 MOS version. And like most people, they don't like the Glock trigger. They're fine, but you got to mean to pull them. That's why they're built this way. So I got a little side hustle called Jim Bob's Trigger Job. So instead of just redoing the stock components like I do them for cheap, we've got a Overwatch Precision with a Polydat trigger. It's a whole drop-in kit. And we're going to put combined with a Ghost Edge 3.5 connector. I've got, oh my God, 14 of these in guns, my own stuff. And we're gonna do a reduced power plunger spring. That's never had any failures. Some people don't like touching them. I've never had an issue, ever had an issue with it. So we're going to, first, we're gonna make sure the gun's safe. Obviously, nothing in there, no mag or nothing. No ammo around here. So I got my handy dandy Wheeler gauge. So let's give her a pull and see what we got here for stock. Oops. The triggers are tricky sometimes. About 4.6 pounds here. I figured it'd be 5, to be honest with you, but the Gen 5s are a little lighter from the Gen 4s. Gen 4s are harsh, I always thought. 4.6 pounds again, so I'm going to call that what we got here. So we're going to break the slide down here real quick. Oh, there we go. So we're going to start with the frame first. So I just get a handy dandy little thing of painter's tape. Get my Glock tool, pop the pins out. I got my little parts bin right here. You go to Armor's class to give you all this stuff. So I'm going to pop the locking block, slide stop, pull out the whole trigger, empty, nothing left. So these components in here, if you look, there's a little, compared to the Gen 1, 2, 3, and 4s, there's a little S-spring in that. Gen 5 is its own deal. So basically they just slide in underneath this little piece here, but we don't have to touch any of that. This all comes as a complete unit. This trigger here came with its own connector, but we're putting a Ghost in there because I believe it's a totally stock style connector, and I don't believe you're going to get any less poundage pull on it. So I took it out and I put the Ghost in. It's got a little fancy coating on this thing here, and it's got a flat face shoe compared to the round trigger shoe, or the compared to the Glock factory one. So what we're gonna do, try to get this, you guys can see me if I'm around here. So you're gonna put this little bar here, or the crucifix, whatever you wanna call it, stick it in here, slide it under there, and it goes in just like that. It's so simple. What I do on all my triggers, at least once or twice a year, depending on how much I shoot, I use a little Pro Gold. I put a little dab of lube on there. If you look at the factory Glocks, they have a orange looking like anti-seize on them. It's just it's like for a break-in. I do this once a year, twice a year, depending on how much I shoot that particular weapon, and I tear it down to bare bones, and I do this for a lube. I said lube. All right. there's that. Click. Now you put that little lube in there, it'll just give it just a little bit of lube. I always kind of just push it together like this, hold it. I know I'm not got the greatest camera angle here, guys. Stick trigger in, that's in. Kind of give it a little push. Now you're gonna take this guy, stick him in just like that. Get your locking block, boop. I run my little Glock tool in there. Then I'll grab my frame pin, push it in. You'll feel or hear an audible click. Sometimes you'll hear the click, but you can usually feel it when it goes in there. Get your back pin. Same deal, hear that little click. All together, that's all it is. These things are so simple to work on. All right, so now, we'll put this factory one back in Chris's box here. I was gonna do this out of his shop for him today and show him how to do it, but my son had his tonsils and adenoids taken out, and he can't go back to daycare till next Monday. So I was like, hey, let's do a video. So here we go. So I'm gonna get my spray out, get it ready to go, put it in my little parts bin. I use NDZ quite a bit, or you can get it from Ghost Ink. Obviously, I like Ghost. You can get their stuff on the website too. So get my locking block out of the way. So we're gonna take a recoil spring out, barrel out, going to this little guy right here. If you can see it or not, take your Glock tool and push down here. Push down, slide the back plate off. There we go. Gun's never been apart, so it's a little tighter. We're gonna pull out your striker and pull this guy out. Now what I do is I push down the safety plunger. Striker comes out. Now when you pop this guy out, these are different than Gen 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are kind of more of a, they're not round, or more, you'll see. But remember the orientation of this, because it only goes in one way. See how this side's different than the other? So the side with the notch and it's round always goes in this way, towards the extractor. The part with the notch in there goes towards the striker. So we got this off. I take these and I turn them counterclockwise, pop it straight off. There's like no tension on these things. Put it in here. Sometimes you can twist them in, other times you just gotta fumble them. My little flashlight. Yep, springs in. And it moved on me. There we go. I'm gonna push this down. Get your extractor. This only goes in one way too. This piece here, if you can see it, goes right here. Hey, my dog's come out to do quality checks. Okay, that's in. And this guy here needs to go in one way. See the black? These are actually color coded 9mm, 40 is white, I believe, and 9 are black. The metal end down, plastic end up, or rubber part up. Just drop it in straight, boop. Striker, firing pin, whatever you want to call it. Back plate. Push this down with your Glock tool. Now push the plunger rod down. You'll hear it click. There, it just snapped. That means it's in all the way. I always kind of jiggle this, and then I'll depress the safety plunger, and you'll see the pin drop. Watch. That's good. Or you hear that rattling, the thing's gonna go bang. That's what we want with our weapon of war here. Get the barrel back in. Spring. All right. I'm gonna grab me a little bit of oil. Chris keeps his gun really nice and clean, so I didn't have to clean it or nothing. Put your little drops on. Turn my flashlight on. I just got that together. All right, we got it fully assembled. Now, oh yeah, rattle, rattle. Let's do a pull on it now. I think he's gonna like this. Where's my gauge at? All right, got it back to 0. .8 pounds. Try again. Sorry, people can't see the glare. 3.75, 3.8 pounds. Do one more pull. Basically, we lost a pound, basically. And we got 3.7 pounds. We got a nice flat face. Decent reset. So from the full pull, you got, and it still incorporates the trigger shoe safety. So it's got all the 3 Glock safeties. Got that much take up. Pow, not bad. I think you'll be happy with this. So there you go for installation of an Overwatch Precision Polydat trigger with a ghost connector and a reduced power plunger safety spring. Basically, I think this was about $100, $110. These are like 25, and I think the spring's like 30. You could basically just polish the components inside like I do on mine. Use a ghost connector in one of these, and you can do your own trigger for under $50, and it's gonna feel pretty good. It'll feel just like this probably, except it won't have that kind of style trigger sheet. So, all right, hope everybody's doing well. Stockpiled up on batteries and ammo because we're about ready to hit World War III, people. So, unfortunately anyway, so hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving, and hopefully do another video before Christmas. So, see you next time, guys.